in that regard, we do want to thank the UMass Club for hosting this for us, along with the foundation and the Alumni Association. Their support this year has really just been fantastic. So a big round of applause, please.
All right.
And as you know, we have a number of pretty exciting things going on with the athletic department right now. Football is making great strides. For any of you that were there this past Saturday down at Gillette, they've made great progress very, very quickly. It was a fantastic game. Coach Muller and his staff are doing a great job. I think we've played a total of 26 freshmen so far, and 16 of them are starting. So the prospects for that program are very, very positive. The other thing I wanted to mention before we get to the two stars of the evening are something you may have seen on our website and was announced just yesterday afternoon, and that this Saturday we're going to be dedicating the softball field, to Elaine Sortino for everything she's done for UMass and the softball program, and really for that sport nationally. So let's just have a round of applause for Elaine. And with that, as we look to this winter season, I think the anticipation is just that much more heightened and excited about our two lead programs. I know we would have had Sharon Dolly here this evening as well, but their calendar is a little bit different from the men's. They are already started practice, so they're out there getting ready, and we're looking for great things for that program too. As you get to know him, you'll see that he's got the kind of leadership abilities and really an approach that's going to put us in great shape with our hockey program. So with that, let me bring up Coach Mick, John Micheletto.
Thank you. This is really exciting for me to be here. Not often that you come to a new community, and I got named on July 17th, and obviously have only been in town probably about 2 months. But to come into a room and say that I see familiar faces probably speaks as much about you people and how you've embraced me and my family as much as anything. So it's been really, really heartwarming for me and my wife Melinda to come in, have so many people show such great concern and excitement about the program and about us. So again, for those of you who I've met already, thank you so much for the welcome. For those of you that I haven't, I'm excited to do so as we move forward here. As John said, a lot of excitement going on in the department, a lot of excitement with our program. Coming in, trying to get an assessment on where we are with our players. It's been nice. We've been able to get on the ice here for about 2 hours a week. Starting Saturday, we will actually be able to go full bore. We'll get a whole 5 days of practice in before we start our season next Friday against UConn. So I'm sure we're going to be a real finished product out there next Friday when you're all coming. So please keep that in mind. But a little bit about our guys. I've been really impressed, starting with the phone calls that I made to them after I got named to be head coach in the summertime. I was really struck by how dedicated they were at that time throughout the course of the summer, even before my arrival. They had really made a commitment to each other to take the summer and really come in the best possible shape they can, or they could, and we were really impressed with what they looked like, how they've looked on the ice in a very short period of time, and so it spoke volumes to me that they were really able to band together and again prepare themselves so well for the season. So that puts us with a good foundation to work with early. I think they're finding in the early going my style in practice, particularly in my philosophy, is that I want the practices to be harder Monday to Thursday than the games are going to be on Friday and Saturday. So the pace with which we practice and the pace at which we're working in between drills is something that I think might be a little bit new for our guys. They've adjusted fairly well here in the early going, and the feedback that we're getting is that they really like it. So go figure. You push kids a little bit further and hold them accountable, and they actually like it. So again, from a coaching staff perspective, we're really excited to get going. It's nice to have 17 juniors and seniors, particularly coming in as a new coach. I've also added Joey Gasparini, a new member, a new assistant coach to the staff, with Len Cannell staying on. But for us, in terms of the transition, having 17 juniors and seniors has really been very, very helpful. We've been able to lean on the 4 seniors that we have, who I think are really taking it upon themselves to make their last season a special one in Amherst. So with that, I again will tell you that we're certainly working towards putting a product out on the ice that you are proud of. We are going to be difficult to play against and fun to watch, and I hope that's not just a marketing tag, it's really what I believe. And we will, I think our guys at this point have really bought into that philosophy, and we will certainly continue to bring young men into the program that believe in that, and again, we'll certainly be striving to try to put a product on the ice that you can be proud of. We have 4 freshmen and 1 transfer student currently with the program, so we have some of their parents here tonight. Connor Doherty from outside of Worcester is joining us. He played for the Junior Bruins organization most recently. He is the lone freshman defenseman that we have. A former teammate of his by the name of KJ Tiefenworth, Kevin Tiefenworth, from Long Island originally, is a skilled smaller forward. Certainly put up good numbers in his junior career. Along with him, Shane Walsh, who played in the Eastern Junior League here for the Bay State organization. He is a Boston local kid. And as well, Evan Stack from British Columbia. He's originally from Calgary, but played in the British Columbia Junior League. Those are our forwards, and then we have Rob Gangara, who is transferred from Northeastern. He played at Northeastern for 2 years, so he is joining the team. Will not be eligible for competition this year, but will practice with us all season. I will. Yeah, it's hard for me to. We certainly scouted UMass in the past when I was across the ice on the visitors bench. I don't know that I could speak completely about their philosophy, but certainly we're going to play fast. Again, it's my philosophy in general. I think you're seeing that across the board in most sports. Whether it's basketball or football at the big time level, you've got to have athletes that can move. But particularly for us, playing on the bigger ice sheet, playing in arguably the best conference in Division I men's hockey, against teams that are all built for speed, we are certainly going to use those assets to the best of our ability. So, I think that the biggest thing that we're going to try to stress with our guys is that consistent competitiveness that I think allows you to be at your best in the second half of the season. You need to build on things every period. You can't take periods off. And that, I think that's something that we really need to hone in on for our guys. As opposed to thinking, boy, we were pretty good that period, and then maybe we can put it on cruise control a little bit here. Any of you that have seen Hockey East action know that just isn't how elite teams are built. We're definitely going to play fast. I'm a big believer in takeaways. Probably you're going to hear the same thing out of Derek, I would imagine, in a few minutes. And I think we view that as a big difference from turnovers. Turnovers are going to happen. Takeaways are what you create, and then we're going to run on offense off of those takeaways and turnovers, and be pretty exciting at that point. I grew up in Chicago, on the south side of Chicago, and played all my youth hockey there. I was fortunate enough to have some colleges in the East have some interest in me, and they pushed me to come to prep school, which, being the son of a steel mill worker at the time, I had no idea what prep school was. So I showed up at Milton Academy, just down the street from here, without ever having stepped on campus before. But that was certainly a good step for me in my career. Certainly opened me up to something completely different than the south side of Chicago, as you can imagine. And from there, went to Dartmouth. And then my professional career, I started as an English teacher and a dean of students and a hockey coach at the Hill School, which is a prep school outside of Philadelphia. And then Union College, Notre Dame, Vermont, and now my final place.
And then the UMass Club for hosting us, and our UMass staff that have always put forth a great effort to get everybody together and make sure this went tonight the way it has. We want to say thank you for my program and our family. We want to let you know that we appreciate everybody coming, and we appreciate everybody putting forth a great foot forward to make sure that this goes the way it has tonight. And I also want to thank the President's office and down to the Chancellor, and mainly John McCutcheon for what he's done for me and my family, also our program, and also the great contract extension that we came up with. So we really appreciate it. And the one thing I think that's happened here, and it has not been easy. It's not an easy day when you come in and you're winning 9 games, and then you work your tail off in recruiting and go up to 12 games, and then you work your ASS off and get to 15 games. And finally last year to feel like we now have a program, to see the guys really buy into what we're doing, to take care of business in the classroom, in the community, and also on the floor. To have that run in the NIT, to really watch the team. What you hear is they play with energy. The guys are competing on a daily basis. They're going after people. They're fun to watch. They're exciting to see. And it helps when they win, as we all know. And now I can honestly say where it's not fake energy. It's not like I'm going to sell you something, but I'm not 100. I'm committed now. I feel like we have an unbelievable program. We have the right kids. We're recruiting the right kids. And everything that UMass basketball is about, from the university to the athletic department to a practice facility that's on the way, we now have an opportunity to keep this program going for a long, long time. And I'm really excited to be here and feel like the support we're getting from the fans, from the kids on the campus, from the donors, from the people in the court club, from all the guys that are committed. It's just unbelievable feeling to feel like UMass basketball is back. We'll call it tempered optimism. We'll call it tempered optimism because, now that I feel like we have the program every September and October, it's not that we're going to definitely be an NCAA tournament team, but at least we can feel like we have an opportunity. There's a chance, there's hope that if we play well, if that we stay injury-free, if that things work out, if that the ball bounces a few ways the right time, that we pray every night, my wife and I, that we have a chance to get to where we all want to be, which is an NCAA tournament level team on a yearly basis. And I will say this much. I don't know when it's going to happen. We're going to break through. Because of our style and how we come at you, they do not want to play UMass.
There you go.
And I think we saw that at the end of the year last year, going down to Mississippi State, going to Seton Hall, as much as I hate to say it, going to Drexel, and then having a chance in Madison Square Garden. We were the only non-BCS school there that were playing and competing on a nightly basis and really going after it. And the greatest thing is I think the kids now have a taste of it. My high school coach came back to practice one day, and I just was like, what do you think? You got to let me know, because he's bluntly honest to anybody that knows him. He'll say, you guys stink, you're great, whatever it might be. He tells it right from the heart. And he said the biggest thing he left and said, they look hungry.
Oh.
They look hungry. And that was the one thing I was concerned about. That's why we brought Doc Carr in. That's why we spend time as a team meeting. That's why we do a lot of things to make sure. And the biggest thing is the guys seem hungry. They seem like a team. They seem unified. John Rothstein from CBS Sports came in. And, we talk to him quite frequently. He's the Twitter master. If you go on Twitter, John Rothstein, he's always talking about where he ate dinner, lunch, breakfast, dessert. But he goes on to say, he comes in and watches our practice. He says Chaz was infectious. His charisma, his personality was contagious in the gym. You could feel the energy. He talked a little bit about Jesse Morgan. He talked about some other guys individually. But what he came away with, and this was what made me very proud as a coach, and also you should feel this way as an alum or a fan. He said, number one, the chemistry of the team was like he hasn't seen in a long, long time. The guys were interacting with each other. They had energy. They were talking to each other. The second thing was, although he thought we had a couple guys that were above other guys playing-wise, he said the chemistry and role definition was phenomenal. It looked like every guy kind of knew where they were supposed to be. And then the last thing that he said, and you can go on his little Twitter account if you don't believe me, he said the brotherhood. The brotherhood. That all guys are pulling for each other, that we're all here for each other, that you're going to put yourself a little bit forward to the team. I mean, it's great because we come to practice and my little 4-year-old creeps in the huddle and he says on a count of 3, brotherhood. So he's over at daycare, they're doing brotherhood chants at daycare. And I actually made a bad move because I was following Cal on Twitter, and he told me a story. He read this book. It was called The Energy Bus, and he was just so fired up he had to come home from recruiting to go right back to his team. But he went back to this story of he was sitting at his desk at UMass, and he didn't let anybody in his office who had anything negative to say. If you came in and said the floor's dirty, get out, go. You got to go now. Like, we all know there's stuff that's not perfect. We're not going to win every game. We don't have every single thing you might dream to want to have, but guess what? That does not matter. I almost said it again, by the way. That does not matter. What matters is getting a bunch of people who are driven a certain way, that are energy givers, that see the light at the end of the tunnel. And I think we have that. I'm watching our football program and how Charlie's pushing those guys, and they're getting better week by week. They're going to break through, and when they break through, it's going to be like us. You don't want to play UMass. Coach is talking about playing a fast, up-tempo style. You play a certain way and you win, and the people will flock. I'm watching Coach Dolly's team practice every day. They're so much improved and better. So it's really an exciting time to be a UMass fan. Basketball, hockey, women's basketball, lacrosse, field hockey's playing on national. I mean, everywhere you go, the football team, there's excitement on campus. So it's really an unbelievable time to be a UMass alum, a fan, a friend of the, whatever you might be. I think it's a great time to be in, and I'm hoping I can be a part of that and get you guys excited about men's basketball, because I do know this much. If the Mullins Center is packed, if it's jammed to the gills like it was against St. Louis, they got no chance. They got no chance. We're up 18 at the half, and it's like I was playing again. I was diving for loose balls and jumping here and there, and it was just an unbelievable feeling to see. So, with that being said, I appreciate everything you guys do for the university, the athletic programs.